Hey guys, I'm Josh Brown.
And I'm Jordan Stevens.
And you're watching the Cars and Health Bars podcast. Let's get right into the episode. I want to welcome you guys to the Cars and Health Bars podcast. Today is December 19th, 2025. Big thanks to our sponsors, CJ Pony Parts, Chemical Guys, Steel Series, Badass Extension Cords, and Speedway Motors for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. I'm going to throw it to Jordan for our random car fact of the week.
Alrighty, so today's car fact. The Chevy Corvette was almost mid-engine in the 1970s, decades before the C8. GM built multiple mid-engine Corvette prototypes like the Aerovet, and just quick side note, I think they built a C2 prototype as well.
Oh, wow.
But ultimately, executives were afraid it would scare traditional buyers and compete too closely with European supercars. So they decided to kill it, and fast forward 40 years, and GM has finally said, all right, we got you. Mid-engine's here.
I could definitely see them being worried. I definitely think it would have scared people back then. They probably would have been like, all right, nah, we ain't feeling it. I definitely could have seen that. I could see it now. Like, even people now still complain about that, and this is like decades after.
Yeah, it's definitely not. And I think if they did it then, it could have went one of two ways. It could have went its own platform, kind of like, it was new and people probably weren't open to it, but it would be more accepted, I guess, in the U.S. market, maybe, if it had success. Or it would have went just no one bought it and it flopped.
I agree. I feel like, just building on what you said, it could have almost like created a Ford GT kind of situation where like it sends their platform so far into the atmosphere that it just becomes like a rich dude's car. And I'm kind of glad it didn't, because like I just love seeing like some, even people our age are getting a hold of like C6s and even some C7s. It's just like and if we had Corvettes Ford GT prices, we would never see anybody owning one. At least that we knew personally.
I mean, the C8 is really affordable for what you're getting. I think it's underrated, even a base model C8, man. They do not have traction issues, and they do ultimately respond a lot better in a lot of circumstances.
They sound so good, too.
Yeah, I mean, a base with a LT2 is like just a LT1, but a little better. I mean, it's still the same old bread and butter GM.
Yeah. Let's talk about the title of this episode. Of course, we had on the show Jim Liaw, the GM over at PRI, co-founder of Formula Drift. Unfortunately, I'll just give a little bit of a disclaimer, burst anybody's bubbles. It wasn't both of us, unfortunately. We only had two seats, so Jordan had to take over the interview. My nerves were like crazy that day. I just couldn't handle it, so I manned the camera, and I do apologize. The lav quality, not great. It's definitely leaves a lot to be desired. The camera quality could be a little bit better, but for us just doing a podcast on the run outside of our normal studio and everything like that, I feel like it went pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was kind of last minute too. It wasn't like a set in stone thing that we knew way coming into PRI. So
yeah. But with that being said, guys, we're going to throw it to that interview. Keep those things in mind while you watch it, but enjoy, and we will catch you after the ad read.
All right. Thank you, Jim, for being here. To everyone who doesn't know, this is Jim Liaw. You've been in the auto industry for a long time, especially Formula Drift, I know.
Yep.
And kind of just give us a rundown of what you've been up to lately, where you started.
Sure. I guess long story short, as short as I can. I've been fortunate, been in the industry, my entire professional career. Started as an intern for a magazine, and really kind of like worked through all the different channels and events and so forth. You mentioned Formula Drift. My business partner and I, we started a marketing company. And we're like, hey, look, we're doing things mainly in like Japanese performance market, and we came across drifting, and the group in Japan wanted to bring drifting to the U.S. and we, thought we could be the marketing and operations production side of it for them, and we got the deal, and we produced the first drifting event outside of Japan, and that led to us wanting to do more with them.
Yeah.
But they chose not to come. Well, not that they chose not to come back, but they didn't want to commit to a longer period.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the U.S. event was cool. It was like a PR stunt. Like, we'll come back maybe next year, maybe in 2 years. They just wasn't committing to
Yeah.
what was happening. We thought that, man, there's a lot of drivers, sponsors that were interested to do it. So we said, well, if you don't want to, kind of make a long-term commitment, then we may just start our own series. And so,
Yeah.
young and dumb, and we're like, all right, let's go create a name and run a series. And we did, and we thought we could kind of balance the drifting series and our marketing agency. But by season 3, it was like, this is our full-time commitment, our full-time deal. So we ran, Formula Drift from 04, and it continues today. We went through, recessions and pandemics and all that kind of stuff. And I think after the pandemic, we had a crazy comeback year. We actually ran in 2020. We came back with a huge season in 21. And I've always been involved with the SEMA and PRI world. And I got kind of a call that was really, challenging and kind of bittersweet. It's like, hey, there's this opportunity. Would you want to join the leadership team at PRI? And I thought that was really really intriguing.
Yeah.
And also a big challenge. I've always been the drifting guy for a long time. Like, well, how do we take some of the things that we learned with a younger demographic, younger audience, with upstart sport? How do you promote to younger people? And let's see if we can bring that to the trade show and PRI world of things. And so made the jump at the end of 21, and have been in this role for a little over 4 years. And so we're the PRI show is great. There's a lot of new things that I think we try to push. Like, sim racing was a big component of the show now. It's something that we really wanted to kind of put our hands on. And so that's, I guess, where we are today.
Yeah. Speaking on the sim racing,
Sure.
you're a big advocate for that.
Yeah.
And I guess about 2021 is when I started coming here, and I noticed the sim racing. It seems like it's grown every year.
Yeah, I mean, so it has. And if you think about it, right, like, fortunately, unfortunately, the pandemic really showed. I mean, there was sim racing prior, right?
Yeah.
There was sim racing. There's virtual, like, training, driver training. There's even entry level, Forza, PlayStation gaming. So it was already in existence, obviously. But I think 2020 showed, with a lot of series unable to race, kind of defaulted to the sim world, and it really showcased that, look, there's a lot of brands and drivers and teams already involved in that space. And if PRI is the all racing show that covers all facets of racing, all types of racing, well, sim racing is a part of that.
For sure.
Whether it's an entry level, like, hey, this is you're starting, get your footstep in the door and kind of get your experience, or it's like a professional training tool, which it is, because you have everything from your couple $1,000 rigs all the way up to you walk into Delara, and they have one of 3 basically like fighter pilot training simulator units that are like multi-million dollars, that are training the top drivers in the world. So that sim racing, to me, kind of encompasses all that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's something that's kind of been underestimated in a sense for a while, is sim racing. And
in here, right, there's a lot of there's a lot of grassroots racing.
Yeah.
And if you think about grassroots racers, or anybody that's not tier 1, right? That's not IndyCar, NHRA, NASCAR, anybody, and so anybody that's not at that level, just think about a track day. I need to go race at whatever X Speedway or X race. I have my car, my setup, or I've never been there, whatever it is. I mean, what are you gonna pack up your car, right? You're gonna load it up, you're gonna fuel up, you're gonna drive 100 miles, you're gonna unload it, you're gonna go drive, you come back, and it's like the amount of time and the money that you're spending to do that, and you're not, again, tier one kind of budget. That's really difficult. But if you can get that extra lap time on your simulator at home, when crashing doesn't cost you anything, and when gas doesn't cost you anything, you just need to power the thing up. Hopefully that gets, one, more people into racing, not as intimidated, and then two, it elevates and gives like more training for racers to get better, and just it all fuels everything that we do.
Yeah, I think it's a great entryway for people to get into racing, and it's crazy to me that someone with no seat time in a car could probably get in a car and outdrive me or anyone who's, driven cars. I'm not no drifter, but I mean, it's so interesting to me how much it correlates.
It is, and you see, you see more and more of that. You see, top drivers now kind of showcasing. Yeah, I get a lot of seat time, training time on a simulator. I was just walking by, Hiro Manoa in Formula Drift. I think he finished 4th in the championship this year. He's 16. And he spent a lot of time in Japan. I mean, both his parents are drifters as well, so there's something in the DNA. But like, he spent a lot of time on the simulator.
Yeah.
As a young kid, before he got into the car, and even when he got into an actual car, he still spent a lot of time on the simulator. So his like acceleration in terms of like his skill was like, his learning curve just was way steeper than a lot of other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of education that could go into that. I mean, I've tried out the simulation here, and it's very realistic.
It is.
Do they
it's
have
not easy.
So do they always have the monitors or some VR? I've never seen a VR in person.
Depends on the setup, depends on what type of training. Yeah, there's, you can have like wraparound screens, you can have just your 27-inch screen, you can have your VR goggles that give you that environment. You can buy the seats that actually have kind of actuators that give you the feel of going through the turn. I mean, even just the steering reaction as well, like how torquey
build box
it is.
steer.
Like, it just depends on I guess the investment that you want to put into your setup.
So how do you see that going into the future of drifting? Do you think more people are going to start going into it? I think we've already seen a trend of people are doing it.
Yeah.
And
with simulators.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think not in replacement of, but similar to is, you think, different forms of racing, right? Like, default is always like go-karts. All right. Hey, you got a young kid, want to start racing, go-karts.
Yeah.
Or like mini sprints, quarter midgets, whatever. Like you start with something still physical but smaller.
Yeah.
I think with simulators and with drifting, because drifting doesn't have, it's a newer sport, right? So if we talk about drifting, like drifting doesn't have a go-kart. Where there's like something that you can get into, a mini sprint that you can get into, that you can train on something physical and then grow into a bigger car, more horsepower, whatever it is. So a simulator is essential to be able to, like, hey, let me walk in the door, let me do this, let me try it, in virtual space. And then seeing like, hey, all right, is it time to invest and let's build a car, versus what it is now is like, hey, let's spend as little money to build a car to try to get it on track and then see how it goes from there.
I have a friend who's done that, and I can only imagine how intimidating it is taking your own personal car that you've put all the blood, sweat, and tears into, and maybe you smack the wall. That's definitely a fear. I couldn't imagine. I've never built a drift car, but I imagine anyone who's went through that,
or any type of racing, right? Like, it's like, you build something, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to a track day, and you're like, Yeah.
I remember my first time drag racing, man, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I tried launch control
Right.
in my car, and it wasn't the move.
Yeah,
and
that first time you're like, you get squirrely and like,
Mhm.
oh, wall.
Yeah. So with drifting, you know, how has the industry progressed, would you say, from when you started, 03, 04, you know, where did the progression really come? You know, with, you know, social media wasn't as big back
Right.
then. Magazines were probably what was taken off.
Yeah. There's I think the growth curve was pretty quick. Timing was pretty good that, you know, the kind of like Gen 1 first phase days of like social media, Facebook, YouTube, um, the drifting community embraced it and grew with it. And so you see the the drifting community teams, drivers kind of understanding, you know, that content, creating, um, you know, environment and social media. And so they were able to, and the series was able to get in front of way more people way quicker than without it. But with that is then you grow in like growth and popularity. And then so what happens from there is like learning how to be a professional, learning how to speak in front of the camera, learning how to, you know, deal with sponsors and how to have those relationships. And so there is still a lot of like growth and learning in terms of understanding and really being really savvy in the business of motorsports. There are success stories. Obviously, you know, you see guys like Von Ginn that have been successful as a driver and now, you know, kind of team owner and creating essentially, you know, a brand and a business. And his relationships with Ford. So those are kind of, luckily there are those, and they kind of set a standard and a model for young drivers, whether it's, you know, drifting or anything else, to kind of model themselves after.
Yeah. Are there any new technologies or innovations that you're looking forward to, you know, that maybe haven't made their way into the mainstream yet?
In terms of drifting or
drifting or motorsports, really, I would say.
I think with racing in general, there's a lot of like trickle down, but maybe not trickle down, but just like a trickling out, right? Like you go back to the like days of what does racing develop, right? You're developing things like, you know, headlights and windshield wipers because you need to go because of, you know, racing at night or you know, weather or because you know, it's a 24-hour race. So like things that technology has developed. I think what is with what's needed for drifting, things like, hey, are there more you know, accurate telemetry, and are there electronic tools, are there things like, and even the like the advent of like, you know, when GoPro came on the scene. I mean that those are technology points that kind of change, like, you know,
you get a POV.
Right, POV that's cheaper, that's not a humongous camera, that a smaller production team can afford, right? Drones, like being able to have aerial without like paying for a helicopter, like all those things kind of change the game. And what happens then is like, you know, you say like technology that's coming is like faster speeds, you know, smaller, cheaper, lighter equipment, and now you can get, you know, deeper into the car. What's the car doing? What's the driver doing? How does it look like from inside, outside, you know, above? Like those are things that just make it really fun. But I think is also more educational. And with a new sport like that, or a newer sport, you want to provide as much education as possible so that when somebody sees what's happening, like, oh, this was cool. Well, okay, so then the next step is like, all right, now we need you to understand how it works, how the competition works.
See how your feet are moving, you know, how your pedals are, how you're touching your pedals.
And people don't see that. They don't understand that from the inside, it's quite violent, right? There's a lot of like physical and mechanical things that are happening for a driver to be able to control a car the way it does. From the outside, it's like, oh, cool, that's a good run, nice and smooth. You're like, okay. But then from the inside, there's a lot going on.
For sure, very stiff and lots of vibration.
Right.
And I think kind of the sim racing, you know, you're not getting the full effect of that, right? That's the only thing I've always been curious about is how does a transition go from, you know, having maybe some actuators and a steering wheel feedback to the real world, you know?
It gets it probably doesn't get you 100% of the way there, but it gets you pretty close, right? So you can get you know, actual response. I mean, again, it depends on how much you invest in your setup.
Yeah.
But being able to have the actuators that move in your seat, being able to have like realistic, you know, kind of steering response, you, you know, putting you know, e-brake, so be able to have, you know, things like that. And then obviously like software wise, like okay, track layout, track setup, you know, things like that. So those are all I think just cool tools. And as those components get cheaper, then that's that much more, that many more people it's accessible to.
Yeah.
So again, so it's like now they're, you know, hopefully you just flood more and more, you know, people participating or trying it out.
Yeah, and speaking about the racers and people, you know, you're a big advocate for their rights. You know, how's it been? Has there been any pushback for drifting and maybe government or local, you know, local government, small towns?
Right.
Have you faced any challenges with that?
Yeah, I think with anything kind of car related, right? I think it's there's a big part to um, you know, educating not just the tracks and the community, because they have to, you know, one, they have to understand like what is it that's happening, who are the type of people that are coming, how does it help support the community.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of education to the participants as well, that you know, hey, you play a role in this, whether you're a local grassroots, you know, track day series, or you're a national or international series. Like everybody plays a part in, like, this is the community that you want to participate in this because you love it.
Yeah.
And so that means you're now a part of the community, and you have to be kind of a responsible citizen, just to make sure that, hey, look, I'm not coming in, you know, thrashing the place kind of thing. Um, and, and it kind of starts there, because then you can deal with, or at least try to tackle things like, all right, are there, um, you know, uh, tracks and issues that are like, okay, or is it like a noise thing? Is it a traffic getting in and out thing? Is it is it just the sheer nature of like, okay, well, the county zoned it so that now you're building condos or houses closer and closer to the racetrack? How do you deal and work with those things? I think to have those harder conversations or debates or battles when they come up, um, whatever the sport is, let's just, you know, call racing as a whole, um, that's a I would say easy, but that battle becomes easier if the community and the group um, is doing or is acting in a positive manner. So I think it's like, hey, look, it's like a, you know, the entire ecosystem is, you know, has to be cohesive and has to know that what you do affects what somebody else does.
Yeah. We've got a track local to us, NCM in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay.
And yeah, we just started having drifting events there. I don't know if you're aware of that. And I know for a while we were having noise complaints and we had to keep it under a certain decibel. Otherwise we were fined. And that's been a long battle for us and that. And then with Beach Bend Raceway too, it seems like traffic was a really big issue for a while for us. So I imagine that can be a very hard battle. I think you just got to have those conversations though.
You do, and you have to understand, and it's, you know, sometimes maybe it's finding middle ground, right? If it's a sound ordinance decibel issue, okay, is it is it the way the you know, the rules and regs of the car, right? Like, okay, is it that bad to mandate, say, a muffler? You know, if it means that you can go drifting at a particular facility. You know, I think those are um, important kind of conversations to have. I don't think people need to be bent out of shape about it. But it's, hey, how do you find the balance to still do what you like and the organizer wants to do versus what the track or the community is kind of putting pressure, or what the community is putting pressure on the track, and so the track kind of has to abide by certain rules and regulations.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of racers would prefer, hey, if I got to put a muffler on to keep the track going, I would much rather do that than have it shut down. Right. It seems like we've been having quite a few tracks kind of shut down here lately, so keeping them open is something that I think we can all advocate for.
Right. And yeah, and I think that's part of PRI's job, as well as that we have a governmental affairs arm that monitors things nationally, but also on a state level as well. So if we see cities, counties, states that are putting policies in place that make it really difficult for racing to happen, we step in and proactively try to either prevent that, or to get the lawmakers to kind of adjust the verbiage or the way they are writing policy. And one of the things that PRI did is earlier this year, we've finished a economic impact survey. So what that does is it gives now we have some tangible data that says, hey, I can go on this map that we created. I can click on the state. I can click on I think the county, and it'll tell you what economic impact motorsports provides to that particular county. How many companies are in the region? How many jobs have been generated as a result? And those are jobs not like, hey, I'm a ticket taker at a track, but those are motorsports company jobs. But it gives a really good sense of like, look at the impact on the state, look at the impact on the county, and again, trying to put forth a positive light in what we do, right? There's just to be as proactively positive as possible, so that when the difficult conversations come up, it's hopefully not as difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of going back to your origin story, with the drifting, I just find that really awesome. What inspired you to kind of get into that as a young man?
I mean, I would say that, it's not a it wasn't like sudden like genius thinking of like, oh cool, there's this drifting, we want to put on drifting events in the US. I've just been fortunate that opportunities come up, and but I think the root of it is like I'm a racing fan. I love cars. I like any kid, like fell in love with cars before I could drive. Fortunate to be surrounded by a bunch of crazy car enthusiasts in high school, and they worked on their cars in the garage, and I got to be around all that. Even my friends in college were into cars, and I dug around for that internship. And if it wasn't for that opportunity to open me up to the kind of the professional world of in automotive, I think that was a fortunate thing as well. So yeah, I always look at it as like, I'm a fan. I'm enthusiastic about kind of car culture and racing. We had an opportunity to bring drifting here because when we saw it for the first time, it's like, this is cool, and we brought it here, and and I think what we created in Formula Drift is adding that kind of maybe that fan element to it that was maybe different than what the Japanese series was doing. I think the Japanese series was created more as a content piece, versus as a formal sport or as something that's like super fan friendly. And so we've always looked at it as like, if I paid for a ticket to walk in the door, is what we're producing entertaining for that ticket buyer? Are things running, just I'm just that kind of kid, that enthusiast that always wanted like look at what people are doing, and it's like, I want wheels for my car. I want that. I want to go racing. Like, I want to go to a race event. Like, what is it? But that's kind of the core of it.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, me and Josh included, we grew up, and I remember going to car shows with my dad and just like, I want one of those. It's just something I like, that it's inspiring people, and the way things are going, I think it's just making it easier for people to get into drifting, and hopefully it can keep growing. I don't see any slowdown coming our way.
No, I don't either. And I think as it becomes less foreign and more accepted, different facilities and companies that understand what drifting is, I think for the better, because drifting is not a racing motorsports segment that takes away. I think a lot of times people are very protective, so it doesn't really take away. What happens is actually it converts a lot of young people to motorsports, to racing, to being at a track for the first time, buying a helmet for the first time, and then even expanding and saying, okay, cool, I've done drifting. Maybe I'm not that good, but hey, I'm going to go from drifting to time attack. I'm going to go from time attack to, off-road racing. I'm going to go rock climbing, like rock crawling. I think, you see it in even across the Formula Drift, like pro series, like drivers, and what different things have they, gone on, or not even gone on, but have they gone to do, including being a, professional drifting driver, racing at Baja 1000 and things like that. So like people have done like different things, and that just opens up, the palette, right?
Yeah, I kind of think of Ken Block, just he kind of inspired me, and he did obviously Gymkhana and all the cool stuff, and that kind of got me into cars at a younger age too, just watching him. And Roadkill really inspired me, and I'd like to see a lot more people that are going into the motorsport that are inspired by people such as Von Gittin, Chelsea, people at Race Local. It's just really cool to me, and I think all our fans can agree that it's something that we want to grow, and I think we all like that you're advocating for racers' rights and trying to promote the sport.
Absolutely. I mean, like you're saying, it's like it's all kind of rooted in like, hey, we're all in this kind of racing community together, and just being positive, and you or anyone, right, at the track, like if you see somebody new, like welcome them, right, because you want more people to come join your party, and the best way to do is like, hey, let's help them, let's welcome them, let's teach them, so there could be more of us, and so that drifting, racing as a whole, we just keep feeding new blood, and it stays as keeps growing.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that I do notice sometimes that people aren't as welcoming, and I wish that we would kind of open the doors up to more people. Sometimes I've seen it personally, I've dealt with it and seen it, and I would love for more people to open up and be like, hey, let's go to the track this weekend, or go to Cars and Coffee, or just anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's about all we got time to. I wish we had more time for you.
Yeah, all good. I appreciate talking.
Yeah, absolutely. It is awesome to get to meet you and talk to you.
And then you guys enjoy walking the show. Lots of goodies.
Yeah, we'll have to try the sim racing out. I've tried it out. I think the first year I came here, and it had me in a Honda. I was like, man, I want to get like a C5 Corvette or something. Get something I'm a little more personal with.
Yeah, we should get you over there. For sure.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we got here. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for your time.
Our first sponsor today, of course, you know them, you love them, Chemical Guys. They have the best car care products in the game. Of course, my favorite products here, you got the starter kits. I highly recommend the starter kits to any of our listeners because it is the greatest way to get a bulk amount of products. It's just the best bang for your buck. Even the mini arsenal, it comes with everything you need. It's got the honeydew soap, it's got the spray wax, it's got the bucket, the foam cannon, it's got everything you need. Cars 10 site-wide for 10% off your order. And our next sponsor today is Badass Extension Cords. They've got some of the highest quality extension cords in the game here. Got their outdoor extension cords pulled up. What I really like about them is they have all these customizable colors that you can do, and you can even have unique writing on them to make them say whatever you want to. They've got the 50-foot Pro cable with 6 outlets going along the whole entire cord. These cords are some of the highest quality that you have around. You need some of these in your shop. Even the indoor ones, they go all the way up to 100 foot. They go all the way down to 25 foot. Why not pick up a Badass extension cord for your shop so you can make sure that you do not lack anything whenever it comes to working on your project? You need that for those power tools. You know you do. That being said, guys, head on over to Badass Extension Cords, pick you up a cord, and use our affiliate link so they know we sent you. Hey Mustang guys, where you at? I got CJ Pony Parts here for you today, sponsoring the podcast. For all of your Mustang needs, whether you are restoring a 1960s Mustang all the way up to the S650, they've got parts for you. Everything from body parts all the way to your exterior and engine parts. They've got it all. I want you to guys hop on over, look at CJ Pony Parts, see if you can find something for your Mustang today, give you something to do this winter, this summer, finish up the build, and make sure you use our affiliate link so that they know we sent you from the podcast. I want to thank Speedway Motors for sponsoring the podcast. One of my favorite parts, wiring harness. They have a DIY wiring harness, so if you are not that good at wiring, they have a full kit that is a universal. You just pick what circuit you want. It is as simple as you get it. They have a lot of parts for your older cars. It's hard to beat these deals. Some of the best prices, that's always what I've known them for, is the really good prices, the really good quality. So yeah, guys, hop on over there, see if they've got something for your build, and use our affiliate link so they know that we sent you. And with that being said, guys, let's get right back into the topic. Thank you guys for sitting through the ad read, and I hope you enjoyed that interview. Go check out Jim Liaw. He has done so much for the motorsports community, like single-handedly, him and his co-founder bringing Formula Drift from Japan to the United States is just insane. It's like some Fast and Furious stuff right there, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, I just really like anyone who is a member of PRI. I mean, they are advocating for racers' rights and trying to keep our tracks open. So, as always, I appreciate anyone that's involved in that.
Man, that's just the only thing that sucks is I feel like we got robbed of some time, man. It's just like, I know it was, we set in stone the 30 minutes, but man, it's like 30 minutes felt like 5 minutes. Like it felt like we weren't there any time at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was so quick. When you pointed the time, I was like, already?
Yeah, we had it right 30 minutes on the dot. And I'm sorry, there's like a little brief snippet of time missing towards the very, very end. I swear I was watching the interview through the phone screen the whole entire time. And like the 1 second I look away, I was actually trying to message Jordan on my Apple Watch to let him know that, time was up, because Jordan was facing like away from me, so he couldn't really see me. And I was trying to text him on my Apple Watch, and I don't know if that caused it, what caused it, but it like stopped the recording for like the 2.5 minutes it took me to try to scribble some chicken scratch on my Apple Watch. And I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. And I'm like, I stood up and I'm like pointing to my watch, and it was like, all right, we're out of time, I guess. Like, man, we had so much more to talk about. We had a packed doc. It was just, he had so much to give, man.
I'd like to ask a little bit more personal questions, like just, what cars did he own, and, what he enjoys.
He was very grounded, dude.
Yeah, for sure. He was not someone who... He seemed, and I don't know, you could take this good and bad, but he seemed like someone that you would see at a Cars and Coffee local, like he's not someone who's too uppity to not come out and enjoy some cars.
Oh yeah,
but he's still, he's still obviously is a very important person for the community.
1000%. I could tell he really enjoyed the interview too, because like he was cooking, man. Especially towards the end there, he was talking about. It felt like he was just as shocked as you were that it was like already been 30 minutes.
Yeah,
but I mean, I could tell he was extremely busy too. Like,
for sure.
He's the general manager of PRI, and I mean that is the weekend for him. Like, he is needed everywhere. Yeah. off camera, like as soon as it ended, we were talking about if you watch the interview all the way through, we talked about sim racing at the very end, and that we were going to head on down there. And he was like, "Man, if you guys are going to be here Saturday, I could probably hook you guys up with a creator only sim racing event." Like, dang, we wasn't going to be there anymore at that point. Kind of sucked, but that man, that sim racing looked insane too.
Yeah, they had a nice little, like, I don't know what you call it, like little stadium set up there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you see what first place won, like a ginormous, like 49-inch OLED monitor, Q OLED or whatever? It's like $1,000 monitor.
Nice.
Yeah. One of those nice curved monitors. Yeah, I know, right? My second monitor is a 32-inch TV. That'd been a huge upgrade. Speaking of upgrades, man, you got a new graphics card. Finally, the build is done.
Yeah, I got this right here. If you can picture it.
Put your hand behind it. There you go. That helped out. Not at all. Kind of.
It's real reflective.
Yeah.
You can kind of see it. Got a 7090 XT. It's a Power Killer Hellhound Red Devil, which is basically, I wanted the 7900 XTX back when I originally planned this whole build out. But a couple of things happened. You know, the car blew up. So
yep, that'll happen.
Ended up not spending the money then. So finally got around to it. And the Micro Center trip was awesome. I love looking around. I can just nerd out for a bit.
It's never not fun to go to Micro Center. The what really took me by surprise, I'm not into that community. I had a friend that really was, but the flight simulator stuff, dude, the flight sim setup, dude, with like the freaking like gated throttle and like everything, man, that was insane. Like,
dude, I use like, why don't you try it? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what this does. It's like actually jumping in a plane and trying to take off. I don't know what I'm doing.
It really is, dude. Those man, you really got me. Like, you were really trying to get me to get something there. I really wished I would have, man. I've been needing some new parts, especially my processor. I've been needing some RAM big time too. Like, this 16 gigs is tired, boss.
It is. Now is not the time to build one, to be honest.
Yeah, you ain't wrong. People,
especially if you're going from scratch, like you don't got no RAM.
Yeah.
Just get some on eBay, homie. Marketplace.
That's where I've been looking for DDR4. I ain't even going to try to afford DDR5.
Well, it's crazy. Your AM4 motherboard?
Yeah.
Does that support DDR5 or just DDR4?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it. The main thing I've read about my PC is it's very particular on RAM, so I've got to really watch what I'm buying as far as that goes. So it probably is DDR4 specific.
DDR4.
Something like that. I was talking to ChatGPT about it, but it said it was very particular about it. How's the 7090 been running some games? I mean, have you found anything you haven't been able to run yet?
Nah, there isn't going to be anything I can't run anymore. Thankfully, I'm finally in a build that will run whatever I want. I don't think I've ever had that per se.
Yeah, dude, that thing barely fits in your case too. Like, it's got about an inch from hitting a fan.
Some big old Lee and Lees in there at the side, and then that big CPU cooler, dude. I'll tell you what, for an air cooling setup, this first off, the H7 Flow is the case I have, and I gotta say it flows, dude. It's not just a name; like, it moves some air. It is really specced out good.
I showed Trevor your PC. He was very shocked to see you're air cooled, and I'm like, dude, he'd be moving some air through that thing.
Dude, I mean, if you just sit here, it's moving air right now. Idle. Like, it's not got high fan speed, but it's moving air.
Yeah,
it's always flowing. I mean, I was playing ASA, and my GPU temps never hit 60 degrees Celsius. I was like 56, 57 Celsius. I mean, that's
really good.
That's very low for 1440p gaming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't max settings on the ASA, but I was still had render distance all the way up and like medium.
It's so great that you got this card too, because you just upgrade a monitor, so it's like you're just like you're maximizing everything.
Well, I knew getting the monitor, I was like, well, I can't really utilize it without the GPU I want, so
Yeah.
It was already determined by the time I got the monitor. I was like,
Dude,
yeah, PRI's coming up. It's just in the mood.
Everything went according to plan.
Yeah.
It looks so complete too. Like everything white, like it just looks amazing.
Yeah, it really matched the build perfect.
Yeah.
Which the other AMD card I wanted would too. They're both same color and very similar cards. So yeah, I just knew it was perfect, man. I really took some time specking this out. It's just like building my car. It take me a while to figure out exactly what I want to do, but it'll look good as a finished product.
The only thing that kind of sucks about doing like a solid color like that is you basically pay an extra like $50 to $100 per part just for it to be that specific color.
The fans, not the color, but just Lee and Lee's, they were really expensive. They were like, God, I want to say they're $80 or $90 for all the fans I bought.
What I like most about Micro Center this time around was seeing like the retro stuff come back, like seeing that retro case. Like that was so cool.
Dude, that was like the sleeper build. Dude, there's just like, you think cars have sleeper builds? All right, same thing with PCs. I love sleeper builds.
There's like a PC case that looked like your granny's like PC from like the 1980s, like got a disk, like a floppy disk drive in the front and everything. Like,
dude, that's what I should have done with my first build, because it wasn't like no powerhouse that needed crazy airflow or nothing. So it just looked cool having like an old looking PC. Like someone broke in your house, I ain't stealing that.
Oh yeah, no,
that thing ain't worth nothing. I can't give it away.
Big paperweight.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. It looked like just the perfect like off-white color. Like that was it, dude. It literally was it.
Yeah, it's that browny white color. Like, I don't know, just the office looking thing if I've ever seen it. Same for the keyboards too.
Yeah, the keyboards to match too. Like you could really go all out. What I would have liked to have seen is a monitor that matched, just like super great, thick like QLED. Monitor. Yeah, but it's got the thick off-white screen all the way around.
It's like 6 foot wide. You know, like,
maybe got a built-in speaker at the bottom or two.
Yeah,
like
really match the build.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't see up there was a matching monitor to go with, but I'm sure you could order one.
Dude, I don't even know where you would get that.
I don't know either. Some specialty store, I'm sure.
You could probably just make one.
Like just snap on old parts to it. Yeah. Let's jump back to PRI for a little bit. I won't burn you guys up too much. I know that interview was a lot to take in. As far as like PRI goes, dude, I feel like we always just have a blast. I feel like the Rod of Truth, if you guys haven't hopped over to our social media and checked out any of those clips, you are doing yourself a massive disservice, because there are some great interviews with these parts makers where they kind of talk about their latest and greatest product. And man, that's definitely something we're going to have to do more of next year, because that was a killer time.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it too. So it'd be cool to get even more people to talk about stuff. Man, we even missed out on the Livernois one. I really wish we could have got that.
What did Livernois have?
Oh, they had all that rear Mustang suspension for the diff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we talked to him. We just didn't record it.
Yeah, and then what else was new? I'm forgetting something. Oh, man. What was it?
That's the supercharger we really wanted to talk to them about. Whipple's new supercharger twin screw. They went back to the old school one.
Yeah, I've seen a post about that.
I know we really liked the Blueprint engine. The Ford block had those canted main bolts. Those were really cool to see.
The Chevy did too.
Oh, did it? I thought it was just the Ford one.
Yeah, the big block Chevy did.
Yeah. Oh, we really wanted to talk to Brian, but we never got the chance to, unfortunately, as per usual.
Yeah, I mean, that just is what it is. Yeah. We already know he's a busy man.
Next year, though, dude, we got to use that media time to get over to that carbide disc cutting, dude. Like that. Yeah. That was
like, hey, bro,
everybody
on the low.
Everybody slept on him last year, and like this year, it's like he was freaking swarmed. Like it was so crazy. Like last year, me and Jordan were talking to him for like a minute. He's like somewhat local. I think he was from like Clarksville, Tennessee, or somewhere like North Tennessee. So yeah, it was like, and then this year it's every time me and Jordan passed through, he'd have a freaking crowd at his booth.
We had plenty of people interested.
That's something next year I really want to capitalize on. I want to go over to the manufacturing side and get some videos of some demos of like that ultrasonic cleaning. I want to get a video of that. Of course, the disc cutter. And man, it's just, I'm already like planning for next year. I'm so excited. Like PRI is just like the weekend. I love it so much. I'm so sad it's over.
We'll actually get the SKR crew. I know Jared he's going to go. We give him any chance. So
we're just gonna have to.
He's already talked to me about it.
We're just gonna have to hang a podcast lanyard on Jared and take him.
Yeah, he'll just be he'll carry the bag this time.
He'll be the pack mule.
Yeah, Jared move it, no problem.
Dude, we could like go off on our own and we'd still find Jared. Just point him out in the crowd.
Yeah, I mean you see him like
he's a mountain, dude.
Where is he?
Yeah. Dude, if we ever decide, remember I think I made a joke to you. I'm like, hey man, if I buy something, can we put it in your backpack? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, there's a 6-inch bench vise over there.
Yeah.
We'll have Jared pack those around.
Let me just put 40 pounds back there. No problem.
40? Be a lot more than that. Those bench vices are heavy.
150 pounds. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. We had so much fun. Like just outside of PRI was just so much fun too. Just like me almost killing us as per usual. The Regal like destroyed itself while we were up there.
The whole trip, I think.
Nobody like the reaction I get whenever I tell people we took the Regal up there is crazy. Like
they're like, you took your $300 shit box.
Like, yep. He was like, what would you do if it broke down? I'm like, walk away from it.
Yeah, like
call an Uber. It's somebody else's problem now.
I got not enough in it to care.
One of them was like, what'd y'all take up there? I'm like, he said, did y'all take your car up there? I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, I bet y'all get good gas mileage while you're up there making a joke. I'm like, oh no, we didn't take the 5th gen. Did not expect it at all, dude. That motor mount is, if you don't follow the Snapchat, my motor mount got obliterated while we were up there. I mean, it didn't help much
while we were up there.
Well, that's true. It didn't help. That's for sure, dude. Those potholes were ginormous.
Yeah, I braced for impact on that one. I thought I was about to hit my head on the roof.
Dude, and then every time like something would start making a noise, you would say what was wrong with it, and that would actually be what's wrong with it. Like that sway bar.
I was on the money, dog.
Got a sway bar broken in half.
Noises.
Go back there. Of course, the sway bar is what's banging up against everything. It's just broken in half. Every time we did a bump, it would never settle back down. It'd take like a mile for it to stop rocking.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. I'm like, dog, that's gotta be a sway bar. It drives straight.
I'm so sad we didn't get to ride the scooters, man.
It was just too cold, man.
It was so cold, dude.
You got me drunk. I probably would have rode it though. That statement still has yet to be tested, but it worked in Nashville.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's the one thing. If we go out with the SKR crew, we're gonna be up late. We're gonna be partying.
Yeah, I already know that's gonna be. We're gonna dread the next morning if we actually can not pass out and remember.
Yeah, dude. The one other highlight, dude. That Weber restaurant was like a gem. I really wish like there was one closer like this, the Weber Charcoal Grill or like the Grill brand. They've got like a standalone restaurant in Indianapolis, and it's like the next closest one's in Cincinnati or no, it's in Chicago. So like there is no other close one to us other than Indianapolis, and it sucks too because that was a killer restaurant.
Yeah, homie missed out.
I know, dude. And my steak was definitely that sauce was like way overpowering. I wished I would either got the burger or just got the more expensive steak, but it was still freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I can either get a really good burger or entry-level steak, and I chose the burger.
Yeah, and didn't disappoint whatsoever.
No, that burger was eye-opening.
Eye-opening. The Airbnb too, dude, I really enjoyed that. That was freaking awesome. I feel like every time we go, you somehow find some way to introduce me to a new anime, and I'm here for it.
What was last year? I don't even know.
Naruto. No, No, Dragon Ball, because we were watching that alien dude fight.
Right.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
I forgot about that.
We watched a movie one year and it was really good. It was like a basketball movie or something. Coach Carter, maybe. Dude, that was an awesome movie. Just like every time we go to PRI, I feel like we just make really good memories, man.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Chilling with the homie for a day or two, is like, it's just such a vibe.
It's vacation.
It really is.
It's a vacation. I came right back to work though, but
I
gotta make that money.
I had to hear about everything that got messed up Monday morning, and I was like, oh, great. I'm back to reality.
Like Squidward coming in.
Right. Oh, my God. But another thing, too, guys, if you are not subscribed to the Snapchat or follow whatever you do on Snapchat, hit me up because we are about to do a huge bracket. And I've decided the only way to enter is through Snapchat. So if you're not following Snapchat, you will be missing out on entry into this bracket. I'm not sure if we're going to be taking everything in. There was an insane amount of people that swiped up on that. So we shall see. Maybe some people just hit the yes button to see the percentage. Who knows? But if you're not subscribed to the Snapchat, you need to head on over because we're going to have a killer bracket as soon as we get through the holidays and hopefully some good guests too.
Yeah, I mean, that's just where we stay active the most too, it seems. So
yeah, just about the TikTok post about daily, once daily. The Snapchat, I mean, during the PRI trip, I was posting the whole entire time, and the days following, I was still recycling, or not even recycling, just posting slowly some of the pics Jordan got. And if you want to interact with us or stay more closely connected, Snapchat's the way to go. It's just posting on Instagram and Facebook. It's just it's hard to keep up with so many. Snapchat's just something I could quickly, I ain't got to have no hashtags, no description, just snap and go. It's really convenient.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah, I do too, man. It's sometimes coming up with hashtags and all that. It's just it's such a headache. And if it don't get any views, you got to delete it. Snapchat, you just post it and go. You ain't even got to worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's what we have for PRI. Again, big thanks to Jim Liaw for coming on our podcast. It was a dream come true to have that big of a figure come onto our podcast. So definitely check him out. Go follow him on social media. He is always doing cool things. He's always posting those cool Japanese cars. I love it. But with that being said, guys, be ready because it's going to be a Christmas special. Grab your milk and cookies. We'll see you in the next one. Brother, what are you still doing here? Check out some of these social medias below me. If you're not following, go change that today.